Beloved Saints, today's 5-minute message of redemptive history is about Joash, a king omitted from the second period in the genealogy of Jesus Christ, Part 4, from the fourth book of redemptive history series, God's Profound and Mysterious Providence. In Part 1, we examined how Joash restored the house of the Lord. In Part 2, we learned how Joash forsook God's grace and worshipped idols. In Part 3, we learned how he turned away the Aramean army by paying an enormous amounts of money. At this time in Part 4, let us study how Joash was punished by God for the sin of shedding innocent blood and share God's grace together. Hazael, king of Aram, was not satisfied even after receiving a great amounts of wealth from Joash. So he sent the Aramean army to Judah and Jerusalem in order to attack Joash. The first time, Hazael came to the battle with this army himself. But the second time, after receiving the great wealth from Joash, he stayed in Damascus and sent only the army. The army of Aram marched against Joash. It invaded Judah and Jerusalem and killed all the leaders of the people. They sent all the plunder to their king in Damascus. It was a fierce battle, and Joash was severely injured in this war against the Aramean army. Then Joash was killed because of the blood of Zechariah, the son of Jehoiada. 2 Chronicles 24 verse 25 states, "When the Arameans withdrew, they left Joash severely wounded. His officials conspired against him for murdering the son of Jehoiada the priest, and they killed him in his bed. So he died and was buried in the city of David, but not in the tombs of the king." The invasion of Aram did not happen by chance. The first time, when Hazael, king of Aram, came with his army, it was God's way of giving Joash an opportunity to repent. However, the second time, when Hazael just sent his army, it was God's punishment to judge the sins of Joash. The horrible death of Joash confirms the biblical truth that one reaps what he has sown. In 2 Chronicles 24 verse 25, the verb murder used in describing Joash's death is harag in Hebrew. And this is used to describe an act of cruelly slaughtering or striking a person to death. Interestingly, the same verb, harag, was used when Joash killed Zechariah, the son of Jehoiada. 2 Chronicles 24 verse 21 states, "But they plotted against him, and by the order of the king, they stoned Zechariah to death in the courtyard of the Lord's temple." Joash's servants struck him to death in the same way that Joash stoned Zechariah to death in defiance of God and his grace. Everyone, Galatians 6:7 says that a man reaps what he sows. Joash was buried in the city of David, but not in the tombs of the kings. On the contrary, Jehoiada the priest was buried among the kings in the city of David. This was because Jehoiada had done well in Israel and to God and his house. 2 Chronicles 24 verse 16 says, "Jehoiada was buried with the kings in the city of David because of the good he had done in Israel for God and his temple." Beloved saints, the name Joash means the Lord is mighty. Athaliah killed all of the royal seeds of David, and only Joash survived. Just like the meaning of his name, Joash could have become the foothold of faith where God revealed his might. Joash should have set up the stage to fulfill mightily God's will. However, after the death of Jehoiada, Joash was tempted by the officials of Judah. He forsook God's grace and became a foolish king who challenged God. Let us learn from the life of Joash and always remember and be thankful of God's grace. Moreover, let us repay God's grace through deeds of living faith. I bless in the name of the Lord.